From deep in the heart of Central Texas, it's the Best of the Outdoors podcast, brought to you by Texas Fishing Game Magazine, the voice of the Texas outdoor nation. I'm your humble host, Dustin Warncke, and man, am I excited to bring another podcast to you. Really excited about this week's episode because it is a dedicated episode to Frio coolers, Frio Ice Chests, soft side, hard side coolers, tons of accessories, tons of clothing, that kind of stuff. Really excited about having two guys on the show, and that's going to be Roy Crush from the Texas Boys Outdoors TV show and Jeff Brandis, who is the owner of Frio Coolers, and I've got both of them coming up on this podcast. I'm really excited about having both of these guys on. I wanted to also mention, since Frio is sponsoring this podcast, we're going to do a 15% off promo code that you can use at frioicechests.com. That's frioicechests.com. The promo code is going to be TF&G15. That's TF&G15 at frioicechests.com. I am really super excited about that particular promo code because that is going to help you, the listener, save some money on Frio's awesome products. And I've got some great content coming up for you on hunting, fishing, the outdoor lifestyle, education, motivation, all the stuff that we talk about in this podcast coming up for you next. That's what's currently going on for their website specials. So this is a great time to buy a cooler if you're in the market for one. If you're thinking about one for Father's Day, I bought my Father's Day, my dad a cooler for Father's Day not too long ago. And really excited about having these guys on the show. But I wanted to definitely tell you about the promo code that will be in the show notes as well. So you can download those if you're listening on iTunes or your podcast player. You can download those show notes. And then if you're listening on YouTube or fishgame.com, you can certainly download those as well on the pages respectively for this podcast show. So anyway, so excited to have these guys on, excited to have you as the listener to check out this content. And here is my interview first with the owner of Frio Ice Chests, that's Jeff Brandis. Really have a lot of fun going through the whole Frio catalog with him, and then after that we're going to talk to Roy Crush from the Texas Boys Outdoor Show about some hunting and fishing stuff and everything that those guys are up to. So really excited about this. Thanks so much for watching, reading, and listening, and here's our first interview. Joining me on the phone, Mr. Jeff Brandis from Frio Coolers, the owner of Frio Coolers. How are you doing today, Mr. Jeff?
Good, doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And I wanted to kind of get some background on Frio's history and talk about what you guys have that's available now and what's coming out in the future, please.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, we are a full-line ice chest company. We're powered by our main structure company, Visual Promotions, and behind the scenes we have all the decoration capabilities and all that kind of good stuff to make really cool custom Frio products. So we have Frio Ice Chests, cups, bags, and a lot of those things. And we develop a lot of it here in Sealy, Texas, right in our own facility. So we have full-out decoration capabilities, and customization is our key. And our soft-side coolers are handmade here in Texas in our facility here as well. So have a wide range of products made right here in Sealy, Texas.
That's fantastic. Would you like to cover some of the things that are coming out new this year?
Sure, yeah. We have we're constantly coming out with new designs and features on our soft-side coolers because we customize those here. Mm-hmm. And so we have a great team of artists. We have about 9 artists on staff, and plus
wow.
I have an art background myself. So we're constantly developing new designs and things like that'll reach the public and hopefully catch their eye.
That's fantastic. And I own one of your Softside 24 Vault coolers, and it has a Texas flag on it, and I wave that flag every chance I get. So yeah. You've got them with the American flag, and they're just so cool, man. But I mean, I'm so big about Texas and our flag, man. I'm crazy about it. And so anytime I get the chance to wave that flag higher, with a product or something that I'm doing, I do it. So I jump all over it. So
yeah, we're the same way. We're real proud that our soft sides are made here in Texas and handmade by a good group of people we have here in our facility. And,
that's great.
Some we're very, very proud of.
That's fantastic. That's great. So you guys have apparel and headwear as far as hats, shirts, those kind of things, and then the manta, which I talked about, which I'll talk about on the next show or the next segment that I've got. The manta is the neckwear, right?
Right. Correct. Yeah, it's like the face shield, neck guard type thing,
right.
And a very popular new item.
No, that's great, and that's fantastic. And then the 24/7, which I'll talk about here on the next segment, is the tumbler that you guys have. Has a bottle opener at the bottom, and is a fantastic, all the way around tumbler, because you can customize them. You've got the ability, they're not too large, they're not too small. They're kind of in between a lot of the competition, small and large tumblers, and they're just fantastic. So.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's when we have a patent on that design with the bottle opener on the bottom.
That's great.
We do the leather wraps. We can screen print, vinyl wrap, you name it.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about the customizing leather wraps and stuff that you guys offer now too. Right. No, that's great.
Yeah. Genuine saddle leather, made here in Texas, Double J Saddlery. They make those for us, and very, very nice piece.
They're one of my advertisers. That's why I know that name so well. So Double J is. So they're one of our advertisers in the magazine. No, that's fantastic. So the thing that I really like, I think you'll call it the light bar, which is the thing that mounts on top or the inside ceiling of the cooler. You want to talk about that real quick? It's stainless steel. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have the it's actually like aluminum steel frame, and It has a motion sensitive light, has a twist off top remover, and also a standard bottle opener. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing is the light is detachable. You can take it, has magnetic strips on the back, so you can maybe put it on the tailgate of your truck when you're hooking up a trailer to your truck hitch or something like that. It's also we sell this thing separately, so it fits just about any cooler out in the market. And also we have people using their garage, using their outdoor kitchens, all sorts of places where you can fasten this item and have a nice portable motion-sensitive light as well.
Yeah.
It comes standard in our 45-quart and 65-quart coolers.
And the 65 Extreme as well, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Yes, definitely.
And in the
that's another patent design that we have, that Frio light bar.
Oh, that's great. I think it's a fantastic product. I have it on my Frio cooler. And you have the 25-quart, the 45-quart, the 65-quart, and the 65-quart Extreme, which has wheels. And the hard side and the soft side, let me go back to that. You've got the 12, the starts with the 9 can, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, we have the soft sides. We have a 12 can, a 24 can. Both of those are the vaults, and they have the detachable cutting board and the bottle opener on there. Uh-huh. And then we have a 9 can and an 18 can that are a little bit simplified models that do not have the few extra products on there. But those are very, very popular items as well. And then we also have the customized backpack cooler.
I'm looking at that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool hot item, and again, we can customize it and make one-off, custom, handmade here in Texas. Something we're really excited and proud about.
And then lunch totes too, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have lunch totes, tons of different products there, but yeah, lunch totes are very popular too.
The whole 7 cans.
The other thing too, we have a new product coming out in regards to the soft side coolers. So this is kind of like very special information that's not out to the public yet, but I'm going to share it with you on this podcast.
Sure.
We have our 18 can and our backpack cooler are going to very soon be released, maybe in just a couple weeks. We're going to have it where you're going to have a removable, detachable Bluetooth speaker that can hook up to your phone. We're calling it the Frio 360.
That's great. I love it. That's awesome. I mean, what more could you ask for? That's fantastic. So
yeah, it's going to be really cool. Real excited about it.
That's really cool. And so that's going to be detachable, that you can take it with you on the go and that kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely. You can take it in. You can use it at your desk, at your office, where have you. Detaches back and forth from your cooler. It's rechargeable, USB rechargeable. It's really cool. I think it's going to be awesome. That's
going to be great for sharing your music and stuff like that. Yeah, that's awesome. And let's see, the Retro series. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, the Retro series, very, very popular item, is one of our hottest items right now. And the main one is our Frio Retro cooler, our first cooler that we have with the, labeled as a Retro.
Right.
But it's very popular, and we're hard to keep in stock right at the moment. But
wow.
We have it powder coated in a bunch of different colors. We can screen print. We can laser etch it. A bunch of decoration options on it.
That's great. Just like on the soft side, you can get, or the hard side, you can get customization, just crazy, whatever you want to do, upload your own design kind of thing. But then you've got the Retro 24 and the regular Retro, and they really look like old school refrigerators, I guess you would say. I mean, they're not really refrigerators, but old school coolers, right? I mean, they had that refrigerator type look, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, and I think that's what catches people's eyes. They really like that. The fact that it's kind of the old school, something to bring back the memory, the retro, that's really hot right now.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you got stainless steel, handles, and it really reminds you of something you'd see back in maybe the 50s or 60s, right? Or maybe even earlier than that, right?
Right, yes, sir, definitely, yeah. I think that's what's really catching some eyes out there, and people like it. It's a great picnic-style cooler. It's just that deal to have something different than everybody else, definitely.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. And you also have, we talked about the 24/7, the stainless steel tumbler, and there's also the audio water bottle. Is that new, the Bluetooth?
Right, yes. We have, that's our first Bluetooth speaker, the audio water bottle. It sits like on the bike and bike holder, bike drink holder, and stuff like that. It's a nice little handy deal. It's a very inexpensive Bluetooth speaker option, absolutely.
That's great. And then the 60-ounce chiller, the stainless steel, the 17-ounce bottle, and the 26-ounce bottle, correct?
Yes, correct.
Those are all just to keep your drinks cold until you pour them into your Frio cup or whatever kind of container you're using to put them in, right?
Exactly. Yes,
that's very convenient. I mean, I love the design of especially the chiller because it's 60 ounces. It holds a wide variety of your beverages, be it hot or cold, and it kind of holds that for, I guess, all day really, as far as keeping things hot or cold, right? As long as you keep it sealed.
Right. Yeah, it's double walled stainless steel. It has good vacuum seal to it. So yes, it keeps hot and cold, definitely.
Oh, that's great.
For up to 8-9 hours, absolutely.
That's fantastic. And then you have the label series. So these are a little bit different coolers, a little bit more common looking coolers, I guess you would say, that you might find. Explain that to us real quick.
Right. Yeah, the label series, we're making sure that we have something to fit everyone's budget. So we all at times need a high-end cooler, and we all at times need a low-end cooler or a more economical cooler.
Sure.
Let's say. So. Yeah, it's just to cover that range, and we have some very good designs that are kind of common type of coolers, but yet they're not common because we have some extra decoration panels and such on there to where we can fully customize these for people as well. Obviously, customizations are key.
Well, one example is that the Frio Label Series 48 quart with the 3M Texas vinyl wrap. I mean, that is a really cool Texas flag logo that has the Texas star on it and then has a Texas flag kind of washed out behind it. And it really looks kind of retro but kind of cool. It kind of has that old feel to it, but it's got that new catch to it, I guess. It's really, I mean, your artist has really done a good job here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a neat one. And that particular cooler allows you to decorate in 3 panels.
Oh, cool.
Front, back, and the top. So you can really get your message out there, and you got a lot of imagery to work with. Definitely.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. And then as far as gear, you guys have the apparel and headwear. We've talked about the shirts, the manta, which is the neckwear, the ladies, and the headwear, different things there. Anything you want to talk about there at all?
Right, yeah. We do have a lot of apparel options, and, that's one thing, being powered by Visual Promotions, our main company headquarters here, and we have all the decoration capabilities behind the scenes. So we're able to exploit that and have a bunch of different cool Frio designs, and then we're also able to keep those fresh. So if you keep posted on our site, you'll see a lot of times we come up with new ideas and fresh ideas that hit the marketplace at certain times of the year that are very handy to have.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I saw you guys. I was talking about this the previous podcast I recorded with Roy Crush at the Texas Fishing Show, the Houston Fishing Show, rather, I should say. We had a booth just adjacent from you guys, or just catty corner kind of down the aisle from you guys, and y'all really encompass the outdoor lifestyle well because the theme of your booth and everything was just about kind of grilling and chilling and taking in all that the Texas outdoors has to offer, and I really like that about what you guys had to offer there.
Yes, absolutely. And, one of the keys to everything is, you can have the best products in the world, which we feel we do, and and the best designs and all that good stuff. But then you got to have what's really the heart of the operation is our people. And
Sure.
our people, from our designers to our production people to our marketing people to our sales people. We really have a great team here. And that's something that you'll see, when you reach out and you're talking to some of our folks and working with them with orders or designs or just learning about the products. And I'm probably sure that you saw a lot of that at the show as well.
Yes.
You saw interacting with people and such.
Yep. No, this is really good. I mean, that really makes you feel like you're desired there. You have the people care about what they're doing, not just about selling you something. And that's what I really find unique about your company compared to, some other companies that are in the outdoor industry for sure.
Yeah, that's something we're real proud of and we strive on. We have a couple hundred people here and all that good stuff, but not one of them work for me. They all work with me, and together we're
Sure.
a team, and something we're very proud of.
And from a managerial perspective, that's fantastic because you really have that heart of a leader, of a servant leader rather than just being a, hard-fisted, we're going to do things this way. And I really honor you for that, for sure.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's something we're very proud of, and that takes conscious effort every single day to keep that mindset.
Sure. No, that's great. You have a wide variety of accessories too. You want to talk about any of those aside from we talked about the Frio light bar, the cooler cube, the Frio cooler cube, I should say, the Mighty Cart, those kind of things. Anything there?
Yeah, I mean those are all great items. The cooler cubes are definitely a great ice extender. The Mighty Cart's a great product that you can use for multi-purposes, obviously hauling heavy coolers. And the light bar we spoke about earlier is really a hot product.
Yep.
And something we're real proud of as well. Just simply because you can put that on anything. I mean, it comes standard in our coolers, and then you can use it on numbers of other opportunities that you may have.
Yeah, I picked up mine last year. The Bassmaster Classic was in Houston at Lake Conroe, and so I went to the Houston Expo and I bought one there because my cooler came out, I think in 2014 was when I got mine from Arrow M Enterprises with Clay Montgomery, and it had a light, but it didn't have the light bar, so I replaced the light with the light bar, and I think it's really cool. I mean, it's stainless steel, it's aluminum, I guess, and it's it really dresses up the cooler, but it's very useful. Everybody I show it to is like, wow, that's a great idea. I wish I would have thought of that, So.
Yeah. And one of that, over the last year we had an upgrade to where before, like you said, that first cooler you bought, it was inside the lid.
Yes.
Somewhat. You really couldn't use all the features of the light, so we kind of redeveloped it, added the bottle openers, and then made the light detachable,
Sure.
where you could carry it around on the campsite, around different equipment, etc. It makes it really handy.
And the light's motion detective as well, right?
Yes, motion sensitive.
Motion sensitive, that's what I mean to say, yeah. And then you guys also have the wide variety, like the Frio 6-pack carrier. I use something like that all the time. I'm going to get me one of these with the Texas theme. That's beautiful. And then you have one with the saltwater theme, too. That's great for carrying your beer, your sodas, or whatever around. You also have the wine tote, the bottle openers, those kind of things as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the wine totes are something that's a fun little item, and again, you'll see it in the stores and the retail chains and such, and they'll have all kind of different prints, like certain holidays and things like that. We'll do, hearts and, candies and stuff like that for Valentine's, and at Christmas we do some fun stuff with it. It's a really neat product.
That's funny. That's great. And then you have your backrest as well that can be mounted on the coolers. Is that correct?
Yes. We're right now we're currently redesigning that a little bit. We're coming out with a more economical model, but yes, it'll slip in. It's very easy to attach and detach from your cooler, and it sits very well when you're sitting on the cooler using it.
So y'all are redesigning those. I just wanted to bring those up because I think that's a great idea. A lot of people sit on their coolers, myself included. Having a good backrest, that just is cool that y'all are redesigning that to make that even more ergonomic. That's great.
Yeah. We're in the process of doing that now. It should be out very shortly, and it's going to be a little bit better price point and a little bit more decoration capacity on it as well.
That's great. And then you've got obviously beverage huggers. You've got for the cans, for the bottles. You've got Frio cooler stands, and you've got the decals as well, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
That's
all
great.
Kind of good stuff
So
like
you guys, y'all have really done well in the design world, when it comes to the different patterns and stuff that y'all use, the things that y'all come up with. I mean, I think that's fantastic. So that's great.
Yeah,
Do you have anything? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'd say I appreciate that comment. Yeah, definitely. We're continually working to improve, working to come out with some neat stuff and come out with our own type of design and genre that appeals to the people that we deal with. Definitely.
Super. So where can one find Frio coolers? I know you have a network of dealers, especially here in Texas. You have a website. You want to give people that info?
Right. Yeah. FrioIceChests.com. That's our website there, and on there you can see a dealer locator. A couple hundred dealers now and growing each and every day. So there's a bunch of different places you can go and reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you or answer questions or take in ideas and all that kind of stuff as well that could help us. And so we get that a lot. We get good feedback from customers, and we're learning as we go.
Super.
No
Super. You've got a virtual catalog. You've got a contact info number.
Yeah.
I'll put all that in the show notes for people to find more about Frio coolers. And this has been a fantastic interview. I want to thank you so much for your time, man.
All righty, man. I sure appreciate it. Anytime. Enjoyed the visit.
And there he goes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeff Brandis with Frio Coolers, owner of Frio Coolers. Awesome little interview there. Just a reminder, 15% off at checkout. If you go to FrioIceChests.com, promo code is TFG15. That's TFG15 at FrioIceChests.com. Save 15% with our little promo code here at Texas Fish and Game for this podcast. So I'm really excited that they're doing this deal with us for discounts for our listeners. That's awesome. So I want to thank them again for sponsoring this episode. Here is our next interview with Roy Crush. He is the host of, one of the hosts of the Texas Boys Outdoors TV show, and their website is texasboysoutdoors.org. That's texasboysoutdoors.org. I'll put that in the show notes. They've got a lot of apparel. They've got a lot of programs. They work with kids. They work with veterans of different branches of the military and other heroes in our community. And I just really love this guy's heart. He's got kind of a similar mindset that I do about giving back in the outdoors. That's why I really wanted to have him on the show. And we'll talk a lot more about Frio stuff as well. But really excited about having him on the show. Here's my interview with Mr. Roy Crush from Texas Boys Outdoors. Joining me on the phone, Mr. Roy Crush from Texas Boys Outdoors. How are you doing today, Roy?
Good. Dustin, everything going good. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Oh, wonderful, man. Just rocking and rolling over here, doing another podcast. So I'm always excited to do those. So.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm on your website, texasboysoutdoors.org. Tell us a little bit about your background in the hunting and fishing world, as well as what your organization does.
All right. And I just grew up in East Texas, kind of in Houston area, North Houston. I just grew up hunting and fishing, background in sports. And even as a youngster, when I didn't have practice for school, we were always a couple of my close buddies taking off, going to the coast fishing,
Sure.
fishing ponds, just hunting together. It's kind of awesome, here 20 or so years later, I got some of the same group of guys I grew up with that a few years ago. It mostly started with just friends and family right off the bat. We started just had an idea to, film a few fishing trips and hunting trips, and we just had no idea what we were doing, just, having a good time.
Sure.
That was probably about 4 years ago, I guess we started doing that. And then slowly we started, taking it. We had a lot of friends that showed a lot of interest, just, wanted to be a part of some hunting and fishing stuff. And it slowly started taking out veterans, some kids. We had some people approaching us, with maybe a kid in a bad situation. And
Sure.
I guess from there, probably about 2 years ago, we decided we worked out someone we were working with, and we decided to become applied to become a nonprofit. And that all went smooth. And about a year and a half ago, we became a Texas-based 501c nonprofit.
Cool.
We take out, veterans and kids and do the hunting and fishing trips, and it's just been a real cool deal.
No, that's great. And I'm reading on here, our mission is to give back to those heroes and show kids, or to our heroes and show kids the beauty of the great Texas outdoors. I think that's incredible. I mean, I was talking to you before we started recording about you and I have the same kind of heart for kids and our veterans, and, the stuff that we do on the side from what we do as our day job, is about giving back, and I think that's so important in the outdoors to talk about.
Oh, yeah. It's been, like one of the biggest blessings, I think, for me has been, like we were talking about, just you meet so many great people. We do stuff for Shriners Burn Hospital. Some of the kids you meet, just incredible. We've taken out, kids battling cancer, and, being a father, and I think all the guys on the show with me actually are dads as well. And so it really hits home with some of this stuff. And, you get kids out there that are going through some of the toughest things you've ever seen, and they have a great attitude. They're smiling the whole time. And I think it can really put things in perspective. And, certainly a big reason why we do what we do. So, your end, it's kind of the same deal. I mean, I saw some stuff you're doing. It's,
Right.
There's such a joy, I think, with just touching some of these people, and even if it's just for a day, to show them a good time.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. You guys know the work that listen to the show a lot that I do with Crosswater Outfitters, Camp Agape, Hill Country Bow Hunters, those kind of deals, and I'm constantly just trying to give back because I've been so blessed to be a blessing to other people. I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it, but I have a lot of fun doing what I do and let people think what they want to, but that's just kind of where my heart is, so.
Oh yeah, man, that's awesome. Like, I think on my end, I've just got so many great people that are involved and that help me out and are a big part of things. And that, it's all, you get the right team together and you can really do some big things. And so I'm certainly blessed on that end too. We've got a Houston fireman that's a guy played baseball at Blinn College, my buddy Cowboy Sean Allen. And he's a fireman now. We have another board member that was a United States Army veteran, that was a combat veteran, that's now a sheriff in Montgomery County, just Mr. Zach Bircher, just great guys. And it's been a real cool deal.
I've been reading about that on your website here, studying this before we started the podcast, so that's great. You guys have some events coming up, and you also have a TV show. Before we get much further into this, tell us a little bit about the TV show and the airing and where you can find it.
Oh, yes, sir. We are on Pursuit Channel every Sunday morning, Texas Boys Outdoors TV. It's actually a good time. Our first episode will come up this coming Sunday, and then I think when this airs, we'll have it, it'll be every Sunday morning, 7:30. It's our third season on Pursuit Channel and our fourth season overall. We started on a smaller network called the Hunt Channel a few years back.
Yeah, sure. I'm familiar with both.
Real cool deal. And, every Sunday morning, like I said, the first episode, we do, well, it's going to change it up quite a bit, but we'll be, out bay fishing with some of the kids from Shriners. We got taking out lots of times first responders, veterans, weight fishing. We do quite a few hunting trips. Done a lot of stuff with Big Easy Ranch over in Columbus, Texas. They've hosted us 2 or 3 times this past year. We got to take out kids and veterans, and a lot of these guys have, never even shot a deer before. So just a real cool opportunity. Just at a beautiful place as well. So
that's
we've
great.
got a lot of things going on, and it all kind of gets kicked off this Sunday.
Oh, cool. That's great. So that's 7:30 a.m., correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. 7:30 a.m. on the Pursuit Channel. And then do y'all still air on the Hunt Channel anymore or no?
No, we do not. Once we switched to Pursuit, we just
y'all
narrowed down
switched.
to one
Okay,
network.
I see. Yeah, I see. And you may also know this about me. I wrote an ebook a few years ago on how to be a hunting show on TV or how to be a fishing show on TV. So I'll send you a copy of that after we're done.
Oh, cool.
You already know how to do it. I just got to talk about sponsorships and stuff like that.
We have no background in this, so it's been. I need to read your book, bro. I appreciate you sending it. We're still learning as we go quite a bit. Even our producer is a guy I went to high school with, so we had done a really good job, I think, or trying to, anyways, of just keeping a lot of it, friends, family, and it's really been that's what makes it, I think, so enjoyable.
I talk about myself being an author on this show every once in a while, and I guess I should let people know what I wrote, so every once in a while,
yeah,
so that would make sense. So one of the things we're talking about on this show is Frio coolers. I know you guys use them; they're one of the sponsors of your brand and your organization. I've been a Frio guy for the last, I guess it's been 4 or 5 years now. I connected with them in 2014 through Arrow M Enterprises. Clay Montgomery is a friend of mine, and they basically, I have a 65 quart Frio cooler hardside. I've got a 24 can Vault softside Texas cooler that has a Texas.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've got about 3 or 4 of those. Yeah, it's a really cool design. And then I've got about 3 or 4 of the Frio 24/7 cups, the stainless steel tumblers. So I'm kind of a fan myself already.
Yeah, they got you Frio'd up.
Yeah, it got me Frio'd up. That's right. So
they're great products, man. And Jeff, from the top to bottom, Jeff, Jeremy, the whole crew over there has been great. They have a commercial on our show that's actually a pretty cool little, start airing every week on the show. They've been real supportive of our, stuff with the kids, the veterans. Sure. And like you said, those 24/7 cups, we actually have bought, quite a few of those for them to get them customized. They do all the detail stuff right there in-house. It's a real cool deal. They got every, a nice setup, and we give those to some of the guests. We've had some of our board members, use them to hand out to, company clients, stuff like that, entertaining clients. It's just real cool deal. Just a great company to work for too, right here based in Texas. So you can't beat that.
Yeah, they're Texas based, and I mean they're just a great brand. And one of the things I noticed on your website is under the apparel and more tab of your homepage, you can actually purchase some Frio based accessories, correct?
Yes, sir. We have, I think, 2 or 3 different styles that they've designed for us, and put our logo on it. And like this 24/7 cups too. They got I think it's a shatterproof lid, the bottle over the bottom. They're pretty cool, kind of really handy, just well-made cups.
That's because I know a lot of companies are doing the cups these days, and that's the one thing I've liked about the 24/7 is the bottle opener at the bottom, and then you can put a straw through the top, the top the lid, and because I love those stainless steel tumblers. That's all I use, and I drink water all day, every day, and ice water. And I live for just those. They're convenient. They're not too big. They're not too small. They're kind of in between the large and the small size of the other tumblers that other brands make, and I just think they're fantastic. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. The size is another thing, like you said, you kind of nailed it. That some of the other, there's other cups out there. You get some that won't fit in your cup holder, your truck correctly. They're too big, this and that. It does. It's kind of a handy as far as it just kind of fits in anywhere, and it's still big enough where you can, on a road trip or something, you're good to go.
That's right. This one kind of fits in the middle there, and it's just perfect. So yeah, that's great. What do you guys use typically when you go hunting and fishing? Do y'all typically like the 65 quart, or do y'all like to do the smaller ones for drinks and that kind of stuff? Or just tell me a little bit about that.
If it's primarily just for drinks and snacks, stuff like that, the smaller one's fine. The 45 typically, especially if you're going to be putting like I keep on the boat. We have a big the 65 quart that we keep on. We have a handy bait boat that we use, and that thing is perfect when you're throwing fish in there. You can come by, you can put quite a few fish, ice, all that kind of does a good job with that stuff. And we've actually quartered out wild hogs, all kind of stuff, and put them in that big one. So the 65 quart kind of meets all your outdoor from a true hunting and catching fish kind of perspective.
Right.
And, I think my wife actually loves the 24. I think you have that one, the soft side.
The 24 vault,
the vault.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It does customize as well, so it's a pretty cool deal.
Do you happen to have the and I'm trying to find it on their website right now, for the hard side, do you happen to have the light bar that goes at the top that has the two different bottle openers on it?
I do. I have two of those. I think it's the 65s, and in one I have the light thing, and then one they actually might be in both of them. I think it is in both, and that comes in handy too. So it's like you said, outdoors. You get trying to finish up cleaning a deer or something. You got the light right there at nighttime. It kind of definitely helps out.
Mine has has got a multitude of uses, but mine's kind of been retrofitted because I bought one of the white ones, or I got one of the white ones back in 2014 when they were just starting to kind of come out and be and really make a showing in the marketplace. And so I've retrofitted mine with the stainless steel gear piece there with that, which has two bottle openers on it, one for twist off, one for regular bottles, and mounts really securely on where the light goes, and then it has a light in the middle that's kind of held together with two clamps, or not two clamps, but two holders, right? And then you can set that light to automatically operate when you're opening or closing, or you can just turn it on or turn it off the old-fashioned way. And I've just found those just fantastic.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, so the 65 is great for using for that. The multitude of different customizations you can make with Frio coolers is just something that I'm just amazed by, because they're doing stuff that other cooler companies only wish they could do, right?
Oh yeah, yes sir. I think there's other. I've been in the factory there before. We picked up stuff and just hung out with some of the guys, and they actually have some of the other competitors sending products to them to customize. So it's kind of, it catches your eye a little when you're there and you see some of the big names out there, sending them stuff, Frio stuff, to get their own, custom done. That's pretty cool.
No, that's great.
Shows you're doing something the right way. You're doing it good.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. And seeing that you can have your own custom logo and everything, like for instance, on the apparel and headwear page, you've got the Texas Fish Layers, logo, and you can, it has the Texas and the Grim Reaper and the guy and everything. And I mean, they're just those kind of things that you can do, that you really can't do with a lot of other cooler accessories out there, a lot of cooler companies out there that don't offer this kind of stuff. I mean, you've got American flags, you've got Texas flags, you've got, anything to be patriotic to your state or country, these guys have got it covered, I think.
Oh yeah, they do. They have a access, to be able to help quite a few different. We've got guys, some kids from a high school bass team that have got their own custom stuff through Frio. They're capable of doing all kinds. Whether you're entertaining clients and want your own, business logo and different things. It's kind of they can fix you up one way or the other. They got the real deal over there at the shop with all the new state of the art print. Everything's right there. So.
Oh, that's great. So when you are, just give us your idea, because you're getting ready to go do some red and speck trips and bay fishing trips. Give us some pointers and tips, that kind of stuff, because I try to educate as much as I can and inspire on this show, for what you're using for bait, what you're kind of doing out there, on the water.
Oh, so man, saltwater, it's been kind of hit or miss the last month or so. You got, springtime, kind of late winter, you get all the storms and fronts passing through, but anytime this weather's had a chance to stabilize, it's been really good the last few weeks. I know fishing near, like, especially in the Galveston area, you got all the passes and jetties that'll be holding fish. St. Louis Pass, the Galveston jetties, and it's kind of, as you go down the coast, it's real similar. Those areas in the springtime are always a good bet. We throw you can use live bait, obviously croaker or shrimp, but we go out. One of our sponsors is Down South Lures, so we throw quite a few Down South lures, and that's a bait that on a 1/4 ounce jig head, 8 ounce jig head, I've caught fish on that thing. Those products from Port Mansfield to Lake Calcasieu in Louisiana. It's just a really good all around bait.
I didn't know you knew. That's Mike over there.
It kind of just depends on where you're fishing, but there's the next month or so, especially April, May, is probably two of the better months to bait fish the entire year. You get to go on certain days. It can be a really good bite.
Oh, that's great. That's Mike Bossy, or I'm saying it right, Boss?
Yes, sir. Michael Bossy. Bossy, I've worked with him for a few years now. Great guy.
I've tried to sell ads to him in the past, and he's kind of a tough nut to crack, but he's a fun guy, man. Every show I see him at, he is just the life of the party. I love that guy. He's so funny.
Yeah. He's a smart marketing and business guy.
Yeah, I know. He really knows his stuff. But so Down South Lures, that's great. And then live shrimp and croaker. And
jetties tight to the rocks with you can free line shrimp. That's a good method this time of year. The trout should start showing, but about when the water starts hitting, especially in most of the bays and even the beachfront, that water hits about 72 degrees, and those fish will really turn on. You can just wait out there in the beachfront, this time of year, kind of late spring, and catch trout and redfish right there in the beach when the water's good. So
you don't even have to have a boat for that, right?
Yeah, that's this time of year from now through all summer. There's a lot of good opportunities for guys that don't have a boat that can get out with their kayak or just wade fish, just from the shore. From kind of Matagorda north, when that it's hard to get those days where it's real calm, but when that surf does lay down, you can just walk right up to the beach, and there's guys catching limited trout right there in the beachfront. It's just that's all weather kind of. You got to make sure the weather's right. But
right.
Definitely gives guys the average angler doesn't have access to a lot of stuff that you get out there and have just as good a chance to go out and catch quality fish. It's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's great. And obviously this time of year with the sun coming out more, need to watch sunscreen. Especially on kids and those loved ones in your life. That's always a big deal. And I even, as we approach June, last year, I talked about this on the show back last year, I went fishing for white bass on Lake Richland Chambers with Roy Simmons. And we just absolutely hammered him that day. I think it was the best day of the month for him because we were catching him on top waters. We were catching him on slabs. He actually tied a slab on the bottom and a jig about 18 inches up and just threw that down there. We were catching them two at a time. I mean, it was wild.
Oh, yeah. When those things turn on, man, they are, we've taken some kids out on good days, and it's they fight good. They pile up in schools a lot, and you can just sit there and whack them, and it is just a blast.
They get territorial over who's biting the lure. They're chasing each other.
They compete for it.
It's just like, wow. I mean, this doesn't get any better than this. Is that feeling? That's why we fish right there. Is for days like that. With the water's boiling, with their
it makes
feeding.
The days where it's a grind. Makes it all worth it on those days when they're eating good.
Yeah, it does, man. For the times that you got to grind it out sometimes. Yeah, that's.
And even black bass right now. I know my son. He's on the bass team. He's getting on into that stuff. He's 8th grader now, and he's just he's probably knows more about bass fishing than I do at this point.
Wow.
He's been telling me the last couple of weeks that I know bass fishing on a lot of lakes is heating up because they're spawning, they're starting to get on their beds, so that can be a good time too for guys. You can just walk the shoreline a lot of times, and those big bass are usually out in the main lakes and stuff. They'll be right there in a bed, 4 feet from the shoreline. So it's kind of gives the guys a chance to catch a big old. If you're going to catch a big bass, now's the time to get out there and do it on quite a few different lakes.
This is one of the best times of the year for sure to get out there when this podcast comes out. And also, I'll just put a shameless plug in here for Texas Fishing Game. We have fishing reports in the back of every magazine for fresh and saltwater, for hotspot focus reports for different parts of the coast, and then we have hotspot focus reports that I actually contribute for all the freshwater lakes. I contribute most of those to the magazine as an editor, contributing editor. So that's a great opportunity for you to load up on a great day of fishing, is kind of check out the lakes that we have featured in the magazine. So I wanted to plug that too.
Nothing wrong with finding out where they've been biting at. Fishing report. That's all.
I'll tell you this much. Our guides are protective of their GPS waypoints a lot of times, but they will give you good information of what baits they're hitting, what lures are best to use this time of year and respectively. And we come out 12 times a year, so there's a lot of good opportunities to learn about what they're going to hit on in each respective month, because it changes month to month, as you all know. On the coast or in freshwater.
And like you said, it's at least it's a good base to go out and get a good head start.
Right.
Good game plan, kind of what's here's how they were catching them this month. And
sure.
Good way to develop a game plan for how you want to go out and get after them.
Yes, and we just recently starting with the June issue, the May issue. We're going to have a this podcast will be coming out kind of mid-April. The May issue that's going to be coming out with Sam Rayburn and another Toledo bin hotspot added that I just added to him. So I'm getting ready to submit those reports when I'm doing this podcast. But great opportunities for sure for fishing. So to switch gears with you real quick, Roy. What about hunting stuff? This is a great time of year for exotics and hogs, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Deer season obviously winded down a couple months ago, and until it gets hot, I think hog hunting is this is the time of year to get after the hogs. A lot of guys are trying to thin them out, getting ready for the next hunting season. I know a lot of guys start turkey hunting. I think turkey season actually, and I think most of the states started last weekend, I believe. So that's pretty popular right now. We do quite a bit of that. We haven't as much the last couple of weeks, but we have actually a hog hunting trip coming up in a few weeks at East Texas. And,
cool.
It's a lot of cool deal. And we got one of our guys, we call him Hardhead Jeff Miller, who's on the TV show with me. He is a big turkey hunter, and they're actually going to South Texas and taking a couple of veterans next week. So that'll be a cool
nice.
Deal.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, we're lucky because I don't have a background in turkey hunting, but Jeff's he's good at it. He says he's trying to preach to me to get out there and do it with him some because how much fun it is when they're rutting almost like a buck, and you can call those turkeys in and get the big gobbler to come in, and he just the whole process he's ate up with it, and
yeah,
it's a real good deal. A lot of guys really like the turkey hunt.
Most turkey hunters that I've encountered are so ate up with it. That's all that their mind is on. They're worse than the turkeys going after the hens this time of year. So no, it's exciting.
He looks forward to this. I like hogs and deer more. I think some of those guys, like you said, they really like it, and they look forward the entire year just for turkey season.
Sure,
it's a cool deal.
No, I get that. So give us your main points on hog hunting. I mean, obviously this time of year with the sun coming out and it getting warmer, we want to watch out for scent control, especially if you're bow hunting for hogs. If you're rifle hunting, you don't have to worry about it as much. But there's a lot of light companies out there for hunting at night. There's a lot of night vision things that are a lot more affordable than they used to be. Like Sightmark and Pulsar have come out with some cool products, and there are a lot of companies that have really done some things. How do you typically hunt hogs, Roy?
It all depends. I think a lot of times it's all about pressure on them. If you get an area where there's guys that hunt them quite a bit, especially if they run dogs on them. Sometimes those hogs will get real skittish, and no matter how much you bait an area, they're gonna be nocturnal. Sometimes
right.
They wise up to some of that stuff. And exactly like you said, there's times where we might be in an area where there's a lot of pressure on them. You got to wait till use some of those green or red lights and wait till nighttime and sit there and kind of post up and play the wind right, like you said. And wait for them to come out. And then we've got other areas where they're overran with them, and you just kind of walk. We'll do stalks on a creek bottom and just try to run into a group of them and go that route. So
cool.
One thing like I mentioned, like you mentioned, is that their nose. I mean, you can fool their eyes sometimes or ears, but that hog's nose is, if you don't play the wind right, especially if you're in an area where they're truly wild hogs, they'll win you every time and take off. You definitely got to play the wind this time of year because when areas where they're pressured, they're as smart of an animal to hunt as I've ever been around. Sometimes,
right. I mean, their nose is more, sensitive from what I understand than even a deer's nose, or it's close at least.
It is. I've heard it's actually more. I know they're both, incredible, but I think the hog is a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think they can smell a little bit better than the deer.
I've read that
before
too.
As well.
Well, I've read that too.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive. And a hog, this is common knowledge too. I'm not saying anything nobody's heard, but the hog basically is the fourth smartest animal on the planet. Compared to humans, dolphins. Wow. I forget what the other ones are, but I've heard that many places when I first started in hog hunting, and I was like, wow, they learn quick, So when it comes to, outsmarting one, they get educated real quick, kind of like a coyote does, after they've been shot at a couple of times. So I'm going to definitely make that point too.
You ain't joking. I've hunted big boars before,
right?
Especially one that's kind of hadn't been messed with a whole lot. Boy, you get a big board that's been around a few years, and it is like a Jedi Knight out there. I've had them coming into a feeder like clockwork. I have everything set up, and I'll wait till the wind's right, and I'll go. And I've had them come up and just stand, 10 yards from me, out of a range where I can't shoot. And he stood there for like 10 minutes and just grunted a few times. And just if he taken one more step, I got him, and he turns and runs off.
A Jedi Knight. I love that. The Jedi Knight. You got to use those Jedi mind tricks, right?
Oh, yeah. And then you get lucky sometimes, and, you corn an area a little bit, and you get a whole crew of them coming in. It can be easy sometimes. But some of those big boars, and big old East Texas, especially boars, man, they're some of the smartest animals you'll ever hunt in your life. But it's rewarding when you get a big one. It's a pretty cool deal. But
yeah, it is. And I typically like the Frio 65 for the 65 quart hardside for for the big boars and the big deer and stuff like that I take, because it will fit, a good, if you kill a couple of does, for instance, let's say it's exotic does this time of year, phallocyca, axis, whatever, black buck, you can fit a couple of them in a cooler like that, can't you?
Yeah, if you got them skinned out and quartered out good, you definitely a couple of does. I mean, ice them down good.
Right, with plenty of ice.
That's just a strong, durable cooler too. I mean, I've got one in the boat that we take out kids, veterans. I got guys blood spilling all over it, and, kids kicking all kinds of stuff. It just takes a beating and keeps on going. They're just a very, very strong, well-made cooler.
It takes a licking. Yeah, that's right. And I enjoy that a lot for hunting, because I try to keep my drinks and that kind of stuff in a Frio vault, and then I keep the wild game or the fish or whatever we catch or kill in the 65 quart, because it's just a fantastic container, for all your outdoor stuff. So my
wife's got the 45 that I'm not allowed to touch, because my 65 stinks so bad. I keep fish and dead animals in it. She kind of laid the law down that one's the big one's mine, but do not touch the 45. She didn't want it to smell like fish. So
that one's mama's. Right.
That's for food and drinks when we're traveling or going, road trip to kids.
Right. That's right. That's not for hunting and fishing.
One time and got that look to nope, take it back.
But my other cooler's dirty, honey. I've got to use this. Yeah, I know. I've been there before.
She doesn't care.
That's good. That's really good.
But it is. They're all they're kind of made similar, all the different size, but they're all just strong, well made.
Yeah, they're
we
durable.
Put them to the test here. We're doing so many trips, and we all hunt and fish with the TBO crew, and so actually all the guys on the show with me had the exact same one with our logo on it. We all love them.
Cool.
The 65 quarts is the real deal.
So you guys have customized them all with your info on them. Then that's cool.
Yes. We got I think we have the white. We have a couple white and a couple tan. The 65 quart, and then we got our big logo across the top. And they, I think it's been several months now that looks great. They do a great job over there. Even plenty logos, business stuff.
Sure.
And you kind of custom like we discussed, and they do a good job. It's all done right.
Yeah, sure. And then also in most cases they don't cover up the fish ruler that's on there, so you can measure your fish on the top. That's kind of cool to have.
That comes in handy when you got kids, especially.
Yeah, especially when you want to measure and make sure you're throwing the right fish out or throwing the right fish in.
Oh yeah. We take kids out; they'll throw anything in the box. And stop them. So
this looks good. He looks big enough. Yeah, no, you gotta watch that.
9-inch speckled trout, like 6 inches short, but they were needed. So you can't do that though.
Can we keep it, Dad?
Gotta have the reel on the top to kind of explain. No.
That's
great. Youngsters that cracks us up, but that's they don't, especially ones that don't fish a lot. You gotta.
In
a fun way, we got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. And one of the things I did with my cooler, I'm not suggesting everybody else do this, but I had a friend that was into hydrographics for a while. I actually dipped my cooler lid into hydrographics film, and it's covered up with deer antlers that form a camo pattern. It's really cool. I'll send you a picture on text later, but it's really, really neat. It's it's really held up well over the years too. I had this done about 2 or 3 years ago, and so there's just so many things you can do with these extreme coolers. And like I said, as far as branding goes, the branding of Frio has just really covered the gamut. The other thing I wanted to talk about, the accessories that you can get for your cooler. There's tons of those. The things you can get for your soft side. The soft side cooler itself has the cutting board as well as the bottle opener. I know you're familiar with that, right?
Oh yeah, that comes in handy for sure.
I mean, if you're mixing drinks and you need to cut up a lime and you don't have a place to do it, I mean, they thought of that. If you need a bottle opener, they thought of that. I mean, what have they not thought of? I mean, this is just brilliantly designed. I think so.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Whether you're out hunting, fishing, or just hanging out with the buddies, having a couple drinks, just you barbecue it, whatever, they got you kind of covered as far as they really have come into great detail to kind of make things comfortable and easy for the products to use. Can't beat it.
No, I agree. And then one of the other things that I wanted to mention was the under accessories here, the
face shields?
Yeah, the face shields, the neck sleeves. Yep,
Okay.
Manta neck sleeves is what they're called. And they have several different designs of them. I haven't counted how many, but they got the American flag, they got CCA, they've got camo. I think those are cool. I use the crud out of those when I fish because it's all about keeping the sun off your face and off your neck, right?
Oh yeah, yes sir. And in Texas, as we know, man, it gets you start June, July, August, you get out there, and it's especially on the water on those days where it's not real, not a breeze, and it gets hot,
windy, right?
You don't protect yourself, it's just beating down on you. So
yeah,
they're comfortable. They're kind of like almost a cool feeling when you have them on, as far as it does kind of keeps your face a little bit cooler.
So I wanted to
smart
mention that.
If you're outdoors quite a bit, you definitely need them.
Yeah, for sure. And also the clothing line that Frio has, the ladies, the men's, the headwear, the shirts, that kind of stuff, that's all Frio branded. I mean, I saw, Jeremy and I talked about doing this podcast thing back at the Houston Fishing Show, and they had a whole booth that, I don't know if you went to that or not. Roy, did you go to that?
Yes, sir. We had a booth there as well. And I was at the Frio booth sometimes.
That's right. I forgot y'all were there too. Yeah. So we had a Texas Fishing Game booth that was kind of catty cornered to the Frio booth, and just the whole lot. It's a lifestyle thing, man. That's what Frio has really encompassed best, is the lifestyle of the hunting and fishing world. And especially in that show, it was more about fishing, but they had the neckwear, they had the headwear, they had the shirts, they just had the whole booth was just kind of themed with the outdoors and fishing and the outdoor lifestyle in mind. And that's something I try to pitch on this show as much as I can, is the outdoor lifestyle is why we do the hunting and fishing stuff. It's not just to catch or kill. It's because we just enjoy the outdoors, and that's what this company's done really well by. So
I agree. And it's like almost like a fellowship of guys that enjoy, a group of guys and women, ladies that just enjoy the outdoors. I agree with on the Frio products. They've done a good job with apparel. They have, I got a 14-year-old son, like I said, that steps in, that's almost 60 now, and they have some, shirts and hats they think are cool, and then they have some styles that, some of their 40s, 50s think are cool. So they've done a good job with having kind of cool and hip,
covering
and
the
also,
spread,
laid back. Just they got some, quality design fishing shirts that are the dry fit material that, both have cool designs, but they're well made also. So they're, do a good job around the water, keeping you cool, protecting you from the sun. So they do have a cool lineup of apparel. They've actually done some custom stuff for us as well. We have a fishing jersey type shirt that's Frio. They did it all right there in the shop, and it turned out pretty cool.
That is really cool.
It's got like a that's kind of what you were saying a second ago. Not the dip wrap, but they've done some kind of custom printing where it's a holographic, like underwater fishing scene. So it's a pretty cool deal on the jersey.
Yeah, I dig that.
They do a good job with apparel for sure.
I dig that. Yeah, that's great. Give us the rundown again of the Pursuit channel, 7:30 in the morning on what day?
It's Sunday mornings.
Sunday mornings at 7:30. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Pursuit channel. It's on Dish, Direct, and ATT Uverse.
Okay, and also on Roku, because I'm one of those Roku guys. So any of the streaming services, streaming sticks, that kind of stuff, you can get the Pursuit channel, and that's how I watch it. Really, I don't have cable anymore, so
a lot of people have switched to that. I think I wrote the numbers down real quick. If you have ATT Uverse, it's 1644.
Okay.
On Dish, it's 393.
393.
Direct, it's channel 604, and then on Century Prism Link or Link Prism, it's 677.
Cool. Good deal.
We have a bunch of stuff on YouTube also. I think usually after our show airs on the network, within this year we might delay it 2 weeks because they're actually Pursuit Channel is about to have the app where you can go, I think, through Apple and click on the Pursuit Channel link.
Yeah.
And so we're going to change it a little bit, but almost all of our stuff in the past is on YouTube. So we have a bunch of people go on there, can see past episodes, different commercial clips, all kinds of stuff we've done. So YouTube's another thing we have.
So what I'll do is put all the links to your show and your website and everything on the show notes so people can find them that way, and I'll send you a link to the show when it's done too, so you can share it out. So that'll be great.
Okay.
So anyway, that's great. Well, thanks so much for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, Justin. You have a good one, man.
And there he goes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Roy Crush. First time on this podcast that I've had two guests before that are back-to-back like that, so this is kind of a new thing for us, but a lot of fun. I got to learn a lot about Frio products. Like I said, I own several Frio products and have a lot of fun with them, and certainly recommend you go to their website, frioicechests.com. Use our promo code TFG15, that's TFG15, at frioicechests.com, and save 15% on your buy at checkout. So that's going to be a lot of fun to take advantage of here in the near future. And really excited to have the opportunity to have you guys listen to the show. Without you, the listener, we wouldn't have a podcast. So thank you so much for tuning in, for checking out our show, for watching, reading, and listening. I really appreciate all of you guys and your support over the years. Thank you for your emails and your Facebook messages and stuff like that. If you've not connected with me before, it's easy to do. Just find my first and last name, Dustin Warncke, at Facebook or fishgame.com or any place like that. You can email me or message me through those platforms, and I really appreciate you guys. Also, please subscribe to our newsletters. It does not cost you anything to do so. It is free, and you get Tactical and Practical Tuesday, Wildlife Wednesday, the State of the Texas Outdoor Nation Thursday newsletter. All three of those get delivered to your inbox every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And those come to you courtesy of our staff here at Texas Fish and Game, and those come to you free. And we've got some great advertisers and wonderful content in there. It's kind of like getting a mini magazine 3 times a week, so that's kind of fun. And thanks so much again for checking out our show, and I hope you subscribe to the podcast if you've not done so already. If you're watching us on YouTube, check that out. And thank you so much again for everything. You guys are awesome, and have an awesome day in the outdoors. We'll see you next time.